In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, one God, Amen. Christos Anesti, Christ is risen. Truly He is risen, and Masihu qam, bal haqiqati qam. We'll continue. This is the second time in the week, as we agreed, or as you have voted to make it instead of daily, with all the opening up and the changes that is happening, that we do our live stream twice a week. It will be 8 or 7 p.m. It depends on my schedule. My apologies for this. For now, it will be 8 p.m. California time, and we will continue about the communication or the speech or talking together. And today we'll mention the top 10 mistakes. Top 10 mistakes in communication. Top 10 mistakes in communication. There is no wonder when people are, if someone is traveling, or someone is, we are doing a farewell party for someone, or someone is moving, or things is changing in their life, and you will find people are leaving, and people they don't care that much, and you will find people who are leaving, and all the other people around them are devastated. There are some of them in tears. They are very, very upset. They're as if you are cutting an arm or a leg from them. So there is something going on when those people are leaving. And sometimes, okay, you have moved to a different state. I wish you good luck. Bye bye, and that's it. So if you dig more in how people are relating and in communication, there is a big deal when or there are many mistakes. We all fall in these mistakes, including myself. I'm not above this, but it is a good reminder to remember those 10 common mistakes that we all fall in. The first mistake is being nosy in a communication that has nothing to do with you. Mom and dad are speaking about something and you intervene, or two co-workers are speaking about something and you intervene. It is sometimes very tempting to be part of the conversation, especially if you have experience or you have something to say about it. But sometimes it is very inappropriate when you are nosy in the business of others, not something that has nothing to do with me, and I am just imposing myself in the conversation without any permission, as if I'm, you know what, I'm here, you need to respect me, and you need to listen to me. It offends the people, because, you know what, we are speaking about this topic and you are coming out of nowhere. So intrusion is a problem. Being nosy in the business of others, personal stuff that has nothing to do with me. So number one is intrusion. Number two is that you are nosy in the not intrusion as you are intervening or interfering in a conversation that you have nothing to do with, but you are nosy because you are asking about details that is none of your business. How much money you are making in this? What is the payment on your home? Is this a rental, or this is an own? As if you are calling the bank and the bank is investigating your income, or you are applying for a loan. How much did you get back in the tax return? How much was your raise? Asking questions about the finances of the people that has nothing to do. This is their business. This has nothing to do with me. And being nosy also in the business of others. If people are having issues in their families, or which all the families are, many of the families are, where there is a family drama, it is just keep your distance, respect the space, and don't be curious in the business of others. This is one of the sins that the scripture is saying that also are accountable in front of God about. So the first problem is intrusion. Just I'm here. Why you are not involving me? How dare you speak about this topic and you are not consulting me or asking me, or because I'm very prideful. this will disconnect me with, will put the first glass brick between me and those people. Second, if I'm nosy and curious about the business of others, questions, not that I care, but because I'm curious, my mind is going. How much did you get this car for? What was the percentage of the interest rate? Go in details. If someone is very close and they are disclosing stuff about them, this is good for, thank you that you are entrusting me with something like this. So the first common mistake is intrusion. Second common mistake is being nosy. Mind your own business. If it is something I have nothing to do with it, I have nothing to do with it, and I just keep distance and respect the people and respect their privacy. Another problem in communication, discussing things that are trivial, things that are of no value. Or should we put this here or there? Or this Abuna is putting it here. This Abuna is okay. What is the difference between Abuna A or Abuna B is putting this on the right or putting this? Is it really a huge tradition in the church that is going to ruin our dogma? I don't think so. Just personal, sometimes discussing or getting too much involved in ignorant disputes, as the scripture is saying in 2 Timothy 2:23. Just avoid being ignored, being involved in ignorant disputes. Disputes of no value. I mean, what is the point of, like disputes about who's wealthier, or disputes about who's making more money, or who's famous, or what is the point? This is really going to create, and many times you will find people fighting about things that are of trivial values. It's not important. It is not, they are discussing things that are related to the dogma or the faith or something that is very serious towards the salvation of the person. They're just things that are trivial, but they make a big deal of it, and they keep getting involved in ignorant disputes. So the first problem is intrusion. Second problem is being nosy. Mind your own business. It's very simple. When you mind your own business, people will respect you more, will trust you more, will even open up more. When you keep nagging and asking and curious, and what is this? Ignorant disputes that is of no value, trivial things. Sometimes when kids are fighting on trivial things, you find adults are doing the same. You will find adults are getting involved in the problems of the kids that they are fighting together. And it blows the mind. Okay. يعملوها الصغار ويقع فيها الكبار. The younger or the youngster will do it, and the one who will fall for it is the older. Very, very common. That the issues of the kids becomes the issues of the mom and the dad, and the issues of the kids between them, they are kids. The قاضي العيال شنق نفسه. The judge of the kids, between the kids, he hanged himself. He committed suicide. One of the sarcastic sayings about that when you are trying to judge between kids. No, this is my toy. No, this is mine. I took it first. No, I said this first. No. In the end, it is trivial. But the mind-blowing thing is you find that the parents are getting involved in the problems of the kids. And they are having animosity, and how dare you tell my kid this, and how dare you speak to my kids this way. Okay. then this is where this is leading. We need really to differentiate, because they are kids. You defend your kids if something wrong is happening to them or any harm is happening. This definitely you need to take an action. But in order to get involved in the little tiny details of the disagreements or the arguments of kids, they are kids. But unfortunately, sometimes also we fall in this. The problem is when we are doing those 10 mistakes in communication, and you feel, and some people, I don't know why people are not welcoming me here in the church, why people are not happy when they see me, why people are not caring about me, nobody is asking, nobody is doing this. I will tell you a solution in the end. But the key is being wise and being spiritual and being mature in communication makes a big difference. So number one, intrusion. If I'm فيها لك فيها, I'm in, or I'm going to destroy the whole discussion. Number two is being nosy, getting into the details and the life details of the people. It's not, I have nothing to do with this. Just respect and keep the confidentiality and set clear boundaries. I recall one of the youth were confessing one time. And the mom of this young man came right after confession. Oh, Abuna, I saw so and so, my son is confessing to you. I told her, yeah. So, do you want to tell me anything? So she's asking me. So I asked her, do you want to ask about anything? So, are you asking me about the confession of your kid? Then I told her, are you expecting me to disclose anything of the confession of your kid? Then she said, no, Abuna, I didn't mean it. Why you are taking it in the wrong way? I told her, I'm not taking anything, but this is the confession of your son, and I cannot disclose anything about the confession of your son. If you are really eager to know what is his confession, go and ask him. Don't ask me. Because here, this is a safe environment. The church has entrusted us as clergy to keep it confidential and to keep it safe for people to open up in front of God. As I told you in the time of in the station of confession, that it is just Abuna is just a teller. He's just verifying things, and the forgiveness is not coming from Abuna; it's coming from the church. So first problem in communication is intrusion. Second problem is being nosy. Third is ignorant disputes about, and this can apply on couples, it can apply on friends, it can apply between us and the kids. You will find the Sunday school teacher is putting the chairs this way, and one of the kids is moving a chair in the different direction. And now this is going out of proportion, and the kid is disrespectful, and he is rebelling. And how can dare you do? Okay, he's just moving a chair. He's a kid. So ignorant disputes, when we are disputing or fighting over things that are very trivial. Another thing is as a topic, one of the problems in communicating is not realizing the person, or not seeing or not recognizing the right timing of discussion. It's a wrong time. So you are rushing. Abuna is having communion in his hand, and he's looking in the watch, and he's looking around, and he's waiting for someone to pick him up. And you go and you stop him and tell him, Abuna, I want you for a talk. I need 5 minutes of your time. Habibi, ask him, is it a good time? Is this an appropriate time? Or you look, Abuna, you look very busy or rushed. Can I take an appointment? Can I text you later on? Can I give you a call and arrange for something? It is not that Abuna is mean or rude or or not willing to give you the time. Definitely, it is our responsibility to give the people our time without any bias. It is our responsibility as a clergy to give the people our time without bias. Without bias. It's not that those are close to Abuna, so he's giving them the time, and those not that close to Abuna, so Abuna is not giving. لا يكن لك خاصة في الشعب. The priest commandments is you don't have people who are your close friends in the congregation. Even if you have people who are close friends, this doesn't mean that they get privilege. It doesn't mean that they bypass the rules of the church or the system. This doesn't mean that they are above the rules. No, it is just if you are close to someone, you are close to someone because you grew up together, you went to school together, you work together, whatever is that. All of this is good and cherish the relationship. But this doesn't mean that there is a bias, that there is that those people are, I like those people, and the other people I hate. So the problem number 4 is wrong timing. It is just you can see the person, the complexion, the smile, is the person is stressed out, is they are rushed, they have time. Is it the right time? And simply ask over the phone, so and so, is it a good time to call you? No, no, I'm so sorry, I'm just responding to you. I know we keep playing phone tags. Please call me after 30 minutes, call me after 20 minutes. Or today is very busy, I will be finishing late. Be honest and genuine, but the whole point is check if it is the right time. Sometimes you bring mom or dad are very upset or very down or very exhausted and very tired in the end of the day, and you're bringing something big, discussing a big discussion, and it is almost 11 p.m. They don't have the energy, don't have the clarity of the mind, so it's a wrong time. We need wisdom. We need wisdom in So number one, first problem in communication is intrusion. Second problem is curiosity, being nosy, intervening in the issues that has nothing to do with me. Don't ask people about their personal life. If they want to share. Don't ask people about their finances. If they want to share, they share. Don't ask people about if there is a family problem or an argument or something in the family. This is their stuff. They want to share, they will. Ignorant disputes. Number three, problems about trivial things of no value. Number four, wrong timing. When we are discussing things in the wrong time, is it a good time, dad or mom or my spouse or my husband or my wife to discuss this? And knowing the people, you will recognize, no, this is not the good time for me discussing this important topic for me. Another problem is self-defense. I'm always self-defending. I'm always right, and I don't want anyone to prove me wrong in any time. I recall one of the girls told me this. She told me, she speak about one of her parents, and she told me, for the past 15 years, they never said sorry. Mom and dad, they never said sorry. Mom or dad, or mom and dad, or mom or dad, they never said sorry. They are always right. I'm always right, and I'm always defending, even if I'm proven wrong. Even if whatever I am saying is not true. We keep being self-defensive all the time, proving that the other person is having a problem or is the cause of the problem. Sixth problem is dishonesty, lying. Did you finish this? Yeah, I finished it a while ago. Are you graduating this year? Yeah, I'm walking in May. And because we are very, very focusing on our self-image and the status, that sometimes we just brag or just show off, we are not genuine, we are not honest, or we want to pretend or to put the perfect persona in front of others, so we lie or we are not truthful in what we say. And I recall seeing a major problem in one of the houses, in one of the families, that the guy said, my fiancée, my wife, when we were engaged, the problem was lying. There is no honesty. And he saw her and heard her lying to her dad when they were engaged. And it didn't register that, oh, she is lying to her dad about this, why she is lying to her dad about this, and why she's accepting the concept of lying. And it was something simple that he was not aware of, and it turned out to be a double life, a completely double life, a dual life that people are living, because they are living in a big lie. And it is all about how to be the perfect, or put up the front, or be the perfect persona. So first problem is intrusion, just putting yourself in a situation or in a discussion that has nothing to do with. Second problem is being nosy, being busybody in the other's business. It has nothing to do with me. I respect your privacy, your confidentiality, your space, and you will find people doing the same. Ignorant disputes that is of no value, very trivial. Is it really worth it to speak about all of this? Number 4, wrong timing. Is it the right time? And asking the person, is it the right time? Self-defense all the time, defending yourself. What matter? I will never be wrong. I will never say sorry. This will build also blocks between you and the person who is in front of you. Dishonesty is a big problem. When you are lying, and unfortunately many people are lying many times during even every day. Lying to the spouse, lying to the parents, lying to mom, lying to dad, lying to sibling, lying to friends, lying to co-workers, lying to Abuna. Do you really need to do this? You are going to give every idle word we say, we are going to give an account in front of God about what we say. And the problem of lying, I recall a very righteous lady, very joyful, very honorable old lady, devout Christian, and she was coming to church and she was very upset. And I asked her, Tante, what's going on? You look very upset. And she told me, I cannot believe, Abuna, that people are deceptive that much, are lying that much, even within the church, even within the people who are claiming to be Christians. And I told her, I'm so sorry that you are going through this, but unfortunately this is very common. It's common even within the servants. That you can confront someone within the church, within the circle of the people within the church, and they are telling you a lie in your face, and cold-blooded. They don't. And you know afterwards that they were not trustworthy, or they are not honest. And then they say, you know what, why you are cold towards me? Because you are not honest. You are saying something and you are doing something else. You are claiming things that never happened. You are not honest. So, first, problem in communication, intrusion. Second, being nosy. Third, ignorant disputes. Fourth, wrong timing. Fifth, self-defense. I'm always right. I never say anything wrong. Number 6 is dishonesty. And look, the lying in the book of Proverbs, it says it is one of the things that God really hates. God is love, but one of the things that God really don't like and dislike, said detested by the Lord, is a lying tongue. A lying tongue. Let us rebuke our hearts and our life and open up our hearts in front of God and tell God, well, I'm lying, oh Lord, a lot. I'm not honest. I'm not trustworthy. I'm playing games. I'm saying to mom something and I'm doing something. I'm saying to my spouse something and I'm doing something else, and co-workers, and I'm not straightforward. القلب ليس مستقيم أمام الله. The heart is not straight in front of the Lord. And what really counts, forget about the people. You can deceive people, but you cannot deceive God. You can deceive people, but you cannot deceive God. Time is short. Our life is short. And if we keep going in the lies and the deception that we go, and we say this and we do this and we post something different, I cannot forget a family that I know for a fact that they have major problem, big problem. And while they're having that big problem, they are posting the perfect family picture on the social media. And I was wondering about why they are doing this. Maybe they have a struggle, and many families, may God protect and bless and cover all our families and protect us all. But this is how we deal with the issues that we portray, that we are Mr. and Mrs. Perfect in front of the people. This is really what matters? What matters is an open heart in front of God, bowing knees in front of God and telling God, you know what, we are a mess. We have a big mess in our family. We have a big problem here, and we need you to intervene. We need you to soften our hearts. We need you to give us integrity back. We need you to make our heart honest. We need you that you will work through the work of your Holy Spirit and unite us again back to you. Give us one mind, one accord. Give us lips that is not deceitful and lying. This is what matters. It's not how we appear on social media or how we portray ourselves as perfect family. Who cares? You are not going to take your posts on social media with you in heaven. This is not going to make any difference. This does not carry, does not go with you. It is just for being consumed while we are living. So, sixth problem in communication is dishonesty, and this is a big deal. And my advice to people who are in relationships and early in relationships is, if you see lying, dishonesty, this is a red flag. This is something very troublesome, serious, and you need to address it. And my advice is a lot of prayers and reconsider every single thing, because you are committing yourself and your life for someone who is perverted ways. Another problem is not admitting our mistakes, or not admitting our weakness in this. If people are speaking about a topic, a sophisticated topic in engineering, and I am by education away from engineering, it's fine. I just listen, I tell it, I don't know what you are talking about, or I say that I'm ignorant about this topic, or I say people are, I don't know. Whatever is the discussion, it is not a must that I am the one Abu al-Arif in Masr, or like the Abu al-Arif, he knows everything. You need to know everything about one thing, and you need to know little. You need to know little things about everything, and you need to know everything about one thing. So you have a little bit of knowledge about medications, about medical field, about insurance, about driving cars, about hobbies, about sports, about politics, and it's fine. But be expert in one thing. You cannot be expert in everything. This will say that you are a big liar. So number 6 is dishonesty. Number 7 is not admitting our weakness or our limitation, not admitting our limitation. And yeah, I don't know about this. Or if I said, maybe kids are asking me about something sophisticated in science, and I'm not aware of it. As a priest, I will tell them, you know what, I don't know an answer, I don't have an answer for this. I will go search it and return back to you. I don't know if I told you about this or not. There was a guy, he departed in a car accident. His name was Fadi. And Fadi was very dear to me when I was serving middle school. This happened more than 20 years ago. And every time Fadi is visiting or coming to the Sunday school class with his Bible under his arm, I say, oh, in my heart. I say, oh, now he is bringing me the questions. Now he's asking me the tough questions. Every time Fadi was coming to the Sunday school with the Bible under his arm, I knew that he has questions, and he was such a blessing to serve, and such an honor to be in his presence. And because of Fadi, I confess publicly, because of Fadi, in my Sunday school, he taught me how to read the Bible. Because his questions, and he was telling me, Uncle, so and so, I opened here in Amos, in chapter 5, verse 11, I overthrew some of you as God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, and he were like a So what does it mean? So I told him, Amos, I don't know. Do you have any questions? I was reading in the book of St. Paul to the Corinthians, and in chapter 2, it was saying, for the message of the cross is foolishness to those who were perishing, but to us who are being saved is the power of God. So what does he mean in this? I told him, you know what, I have an answer for this. And because of Fadi, how diligent he was and how honest he was, and thank God that I was not telling him that if I know the answer, I told him, you know, this, what does it mean? And this is based on my knowledge. If he's asking me the tough, hard questions, and I have no answers, I told him, you know what, let me write it down, I took notes of it. I will research it. Give me a week or two, and I will return back to you. And if I didn't return back to you, remind me, so as I will give you an answer for this. We don't admit our weakness. We don't admit our limitation of the knowledge. We pretend that we know it all. But who tell me about someone who know? I mean, with the exception of Pope Shinoda, I mean, at least this from the people that I have seen in my life. He's very knowledgeable in many stuff, and very deep and very thorough. So number 7, not admitting our limitation or our weakness, pretending to know it all. Another problem in discussion is the assumption, assuming that the person is they didn't take communion because they have problem with this. Okay, how did you know that they? Why you are saying this? Maybe there is many reasons of a person not taking communion. Why are you assuming? And sometimes the assumption, you are just putting the assumption in your mind and speaking about it and making a big case about it, and it is not true. Don't assume. Do not assume, but ask questions. Ask questions. And if it is a question that is in my business, that you're caring, you are worried, and you are caring about the person, this is good. If it is a nosy question, then no. If it is an intrusive question, then I don't need to. We don't assume stuff that is happening in the life of people. So assumption is also another big problem in this because this. Ask without assuming. Love thinks no evil. Love thinks no evil. المحبة لا تظن السوء. Love thinks no evil. So don't make it all in your mind. Just assess if this is the true situation. Yes, if it is not the true situation, it's fine. Generalization is a problem number 9. That you are watching and you are seeing. I read this. Not all blacks are criminals. Not all whites are racist. Not all cops are bad. Ignorance comes in different colors. Generalization. When we overgeneralize, as cops are very strict. No, or they are ritualistic or legalistic, or those people are this, or these people are this, or those are snobs, and those are, and you keep labeling and overgeneralizing things. That is not true. Because also when you keep labeling people, the labeling of the people will put also another glass brick between you and the person. And by this you will not be able, if I am assuming that you are corrupt, or you are bad, or you are whatever, then there is already a glass wall between you and me, and we cannot connect, we cannot reach. And how can I will bring you, or I will bring God to you, or I will bring you close to God? It will never happen. Do not we overgeneralize. So till now, the problem of intrusion and forcing yourself in a setup that you don't need to be in. The second problem is being nosy and curious in the business of others. Habibi, and I respect your privacy. Keep your distance and set clear boundaries. Ignorant disputes that are of no value, of trivial values, or getting involved in the business of the kids. Kids are arguing or are having fights. Fine, so maintain the safety. But in the end, there are kids. I recall a situation happened with my daughter in the church. She was maybe 6 or 7 years old, and there was a very devout, very righteous old lady taking communion. And what happened is, my daughter, while the old lady is in line, she bypassed her. I don't know, she was maybe slow or something. She bypassed her, and I'm the one who's giving the blood to the congregation in that time. And the lady, the old lady, really, she lost it. She pulled her on the side and she started rebuking my daughter like never before. How dare you do this, and you did not respect an old person, and you are doing this and that and that. And I didn't speak. I don't even know whether this righteous lady, very devout Christian, but it happened. It just happened that with her and with my daughter, and I don't know if she even knew that this is my daughter or not. But the whole point is, I spoke with my daughter later on. We processed whatever she's going through, and I showed a lot of empathy, and I apologized to her about how this experience came along. But the whole point is, now I will go and fight with the old lady, and the lady is fighting with my daughter. And where is this going? The whole thing is, we have responsibility to secure our kids, their safety. You have a responsibility to back them up when they are making the right choices. If they did a mistake, yes, she did a mistake. She bypassed the old lady. Okay, this is how you deal with kids when they come in front of you? This is another issue. But the whole thing is, ignore trivial disputes. Don't go in things that are very trivial, of no importance. What really important is, in a setting like this, is how my daughter is feeling. If she is feeling whatever is her feeling, that I bond with her on this, and I ask her very clearly, do you need me to talk to the old lady? Do you need me to take an action? Do you need me to do something to defend you if you felt there is something that needs to be taken action of? And always assess the situation before making assumption, as we mentioned. So, wrong timing, is it a good time or not? Self-defense, the never wrong communicator. Number 6 problem is the dishonesty and not being honest. And number 7 is not stating our limitation. No, I am not knowledgeable about this. Maybe if you are asking me about the canons of the church in the 4th century, I will be telling you, what, I don't have much of information about this topic, but I know so-and-so, Abuna so-and-so is teaching this topic in the clerical council. In the seminary. So, he is an expert in this. If you have a simple question, I can ask him. If you have a bigger discussion, if I can help, I will help. If not, I'm referring you to this person who is more knowledgeable than me. The problem number 7 is not being honest with our limitations. Number 8 is, do not assume about things. Do not assume things. That love thinks no evil. Don't just put all in the assumption, because just ask, is this true? Is this what happened? Is this the situation? Or it is just an assumption. Do not overgeneralize and generalize things and start labeling people with labels of that is not true. I will tell you a story that happened with me in the first year of college. I made it to my college. This is the first week of college, and I was standing in a group with a group of friends, and this group of friends were talking and barely just knew them. Then a person coming to the whole group, and they noticed that this person is coming, and they said, no, don't speak about this, so-and-so is coming. So I didn't know what's wrong. Fine. And this person, they stopped talking as if nothing is there. Then this person, when they left, they started speaking negatively about this person. I never met him, I never dealt with him, I don't know anything about him. Then, it is a negative feedback about someone that I never even dealt with. It happens that in the same week, God is sending me a strong message. In the same week, my hymns, my Sunday school teacher in high school knew that I went to this college or this university, and it was pharmacy school, and he told me, oh, you went to pharmacy school, you are going in this place, and then, you know what, I know someone from a different church, his name is so and so, he's a very nice guy, he's a great servant in his church, he's a great hymn teacher, he's doing this and he's doing that and he's doing that. Then I told him, hang on one second, what is the name of the person that you are telling me about? All of this good stuff? So and so. Then I said, oh, this is the guy that this group of people were speaking negatively on? Then I verified, yes, it was the same guy. And now I'm having people speaking negatively of someone that I never saw. And I have someone whom I really trust is speaking very positively of someone whom I never saw, also I never dealt with. Then I said, do not judge, do not assume anything, just deal with the person, and the experience will reveal things. So do not assume. Number 9 is do not generalize. Do not generalize. All people from this city or this place or this community or this mindset or this culture or this race, they are bad or they are good or they are smart or they... No, don't generalize. Don't, because once you generalize, you build a wall, emotional disconnection between you and the person, and you might miss out on having a much deep, and it happened that I had a very fruitful, very deep friendship with this person whom people, they were saying, all this negative stuff. The last but not least is the tone of voice and the aggression in the talking. When you are kind to people, people are more kind to you. When you are harsh and aggressive and raising your voice and yelling, it turns people off, and it builds also a wall between you and these people. So do not conduct any communication in a harsh or a mean way. Even if you are upset, even if you are going through a hard time, the more you respect people, the more you say, you know what, I don't accept what is going on, I'm upset, you know what, I'm clueless what to do or what to say now, I need time to think and pray about this mess that is going on, and withdraw. But just escalating and yelling and going with a very loud voice, very intimidating body language, just put people away, turn people off and disconnect and say, you know what, I don't want to be in this drama, I don't want to be in this painful experience, this is too much on me or my family, and I don't want to be in this environment. So those are the 10 big mistakes we start or we fall in, and the research is saying that the first 30 seconds of Adam returning back to home with Eve, or Eve returning back to home with Adam, and Adam is in the home when we were going outside. The first 30 seconds determine how the night will look like. Is it going to be a peaceful one, or a war zone, or fireworks, or arguments, or fights? Or the first 30 seconds, if it starts with a kind, hugging, loving, smiling phase, then it set the tone and the mood for the whole night. While if it is aggressive and angry and bitter and or even sometimes it is just cold. So this will set the precedence also, or will give you an example of how we are going to deal with those problems. I will tell you 2 things that it made a big difference with me personally in dealing with people. I'm not claiming that I'm a good in this. It is always a journey that we learn. But one of the things is the second mile. In the scripture it said mil التاني. In the scripture it said, if someone is forcing you to move 1 mile with them, move 2 miles, because the Romans law saying if a Roman soldier is carrying this bag and he is moving with the bag and he saw me while I am not Roman and he is a Roman soldier, by law he will give me the bag and he will tell me, you know, you carry it for me for 1 mile, then after 1 mile I will take it back. This is the law. So the scripture is saying, if you are forced to carry the burden of someone, or the luggage of someone for one mile, go the second mile willingly without being forced. So what is the second mile? The second mile is the attacking, loving mile in Christianity. The attacking and loving mile in Christianity. What are you saying, Amuna? The second mile is, if someone is giving you the cold shoulder, you go and greet them. If someone is not smiling, you smile in their face and genuinely pray, go and say hi. If someone is ignoring you in anything, you go and you show them love, or you show them care. Don't rebuke them. How dare you didn't invite me in this, or I dare you didn't tell me about this, or I did. No, show love and give love unconditional and without expecting anything in return. The first mile is, okay, you tell me hi, I tell you hi. You don't tell me hi, then I'm not dealing with you. The second mile is reaching outside of our comfort zone, outside of our, this is my people, that I like them, those people I don't like them, I don't care about them. The second mile is the mile of doing things for the sake of God, not for the sake of people. Doing things wholeheartedly, just for the sake of the commandments of the Lord, that I am honest and I am doing something for the sake of others. The second mile is the mile that changed the people in front of you. There was a story in the history of the church that is mind-blowing. A Roman soldier who is living as atheist, living all his life worshipping the gods of the Romans, and he had orders from Diocletian to go and kill the Christians. So they went and they killed all the Christians and all the families and all the small village that they were in, to the extent that the sword is no longer sharp anymore, and it is not able to cut the heads of the Christian. And they started using the axes of the farmers. And while he finished a very bloody day, and he's sitting in his tent, waiting, the day is ending, then he is waiting to go in the second day for the next door village to kill more Christians. A couple of old ladies came with a hot meal to this Roman soldier. He was the leader of the group of the soldiers. And he didn't believe what is happening. They are giving him a hot meal. And definitely in the beginning he thought that they want to poison him or they want to attack him. But they told him, we can eat from it, and they ate from it. And this is a meal of love. This is the meal of the second mile. You know that I'm coming to kill you tomorrow, and you are offering me a meal, a hot meal. He couldn't sleep. He kept telling God, if you are the true God, if you are God of the Christians, is the true God, show me yourself, and don't let me go tomorrow to kill those people who just did this goodness, this act of kindness to me. Don't let it happen. And in the middle of the night, a messenger from the emperor came, pulling with an order, decree from the emperor to pull away all the troops, because there is a war zone that opened, and he needs all the troops. So he will stop killing the Christians. Now the Christians are there for a while. Then he will go and have the war and return back. And once this person reached back to the city, he took off the soldier's clothes and armor, and he reached to the first church and he asked about the faith. He got informed by the priest. Then he studied the Christianity. He believed, got baptized. Then he became Saint Pachomius Ab Sharika, the father of Kononia, who started a new monastic life of reaching out to the people who are atheists. This is one of the early evangelism things that happened in the church. It was just a hot meal. It was the second mile in relationships. Don't think of always when you are focusing on yourself, you are, they didn't do this, how did they, they acted this way on me. And the more you are self-absorbed, the more you are thinking of yourself and how they are not respecting me and how they are not honoring me and how they are not reaching out to me, and I did this and they never said thank you. Forget about do it for the sake of God, do it for the sake of the commandment, not waiting for anything in return, do it for the sake of the second mile. So my two things that I will tell you today, in the end, the second mile commandment is a commandment that will set you free, will make you happy, joyful from within, not waiting for anything in return, because you are doing it for the sake of the love of God, not for the sake of the people. Not for the sake of they respect you back, or for the sake of they honor me back, or for the sake of they kiss my hands as a priest. Do it for the sake of the love of God. And you will be on fire, you will be set free, you will not even think of anything. Not expecting anything in return. And the second thing is going to those 10 things and trying to do the opposite. Intrusion, I will keep distance and I will not be imposing myself. Think, if we are not imposing ourselves in the life of others, and people are not nosy in the business of others, and people are not fighting on trivial disputes or things that are ignorant disputes, and they are checking on the right timing. It's a good time to speak. Is it a good time to discuss this? And they are blaming themselves, and they are not going in the self-defense, and they are honest and genuine in their communication. And they are saying, you know what, I don't know, if something I don't know, I will research it and I can get back to you, sharing their weakness or their limitations. And they are not assuming things, but they are asking the right questions in a genuine and humble heart, so as to reach out to the people and connect more. And they are not generalizing, and they are not labeling people with things. And they are very kind, and they are not harsh in their startup communication, or the beginning of their communication. And they are taking the second mile as their weapon in dealing with all the relationships. Think of this, how would this impact positively our relationships with everyone? May God give me and give each one of us that we will be benefiting from this and applying even one thing from all those, avoiding one mistake from all of this, and adopting the second mile. To whom is the glory forever and ever. Amen. Seeing you, God willing, next Sunday is the Pentecost night at 8 p.m. To whom is the glory forever and ever. Amen.